The past week or so has been filled with pretty much nothing but Moro and the things currently going on in Dragon Ball Super, as Goku, with a newfound control over Ultra Instinct, finally arrived back on Earth in order to finish this war between them. Over the past few months, while we've been concerned with the secret training methods going on with Goku and Vegeta, Moro, without much pushback at all, has been consuming the lives of planets as he pleases while he awaits his two powerful new opponents. The fact that Moro basically spared them and is allowing Goku and Vegeta to make full use of any training they can get in the meantime seems to be quite a common quality among villains in the Dragon Ball multiverse, as similar actions can be seen happening across another dimension. In a nice change of pace, we take a look back at the events happening in an alternate universe where things may be just as, if not much worse than in the main arc. A timeline that would even make future Trunks quiver in fear. Ages ago, before Saiyans ruled by King Vegeta existed, Universe 13 was a thriving sphere of power ruled by the strongest god of destruction, as well as the now perceived most powerful angel, second only to the Grand Priest himself and possibly surpassing him in some ways. Residing in Universe 13 as well, however, were a race of extremely powerful Saiyans, much stronger than the ones we've seen in the 7th, but due to blasphemy from the angel of this universe, the 13th was ultimately erased, as well as everyone and everything in it. That is, until the angel Moro appears many millennia later after escaping and hiding from Zeno. After battling both Goku and Vegeta, Moro ultimately seems to make the decision that Vegeta is worthy of being his pupil. However, he desires to fight them both at the peak of their potential. Goku is sent off to another dimension where he stumbles upon an elderly man resembling Zeno himself, while Vegeta has undergone direct apprenticeship under the Grand Priest. Both have found the most excellent of teachers to help them prepare for the upcoming battles. However, Moro wants to keep an exceptionally close eye on Vegeta for some reason, but what he soon finds will set his anger and jealousy ablaze even more. If you guys want to check out Dragon Ball Super Kai for yourselves, the link as always will be down in the description box, so be sure to go have a look if you're interested. And also, the previous video we covered Universe 13 and should be up at the top of the screen somewhere, so if you need to catch up, then check that out too. Also, if you haven't already, be sure to have that notification bell turned on to never miss an upload. And if you've been enjoying the Dragon Ball content we've been covering lately and want to see even more Universe 13 and all of the other areas of the multiverse, consider leaving a like on this video as well. Don't forget to follow on both Twitch and Twitter to keep up with me and all anime related content, and I've been posting a lot of fighters clips recently, so if you're into that, definitely check out my Twitter. But without further ado, as the grudge between Moro and the Z Fighters rages on, one can only dream of what to expect once Goku and, I feel like right now, more importantly Vegeta, have concluded their training under their new masters. We soon find ourselves in an unknown realm that looks to be a small deserted planet in outer space somewhere. "This is so annoying," a voice calls out, as then we look over to see that the angel has taken refuge in this mysterious dimension while his plans progress. Maybe I should give them a year," he says, referring to the amount of time he'll allow Goku and Vegeta to train. However, he then goes on to say that in regards to Vegeta, surely he wouldn't need that long at all. At best 6 months, and he should grow into a great warrior without having to wait all that time. The next thing we notice, however, is that Moro isn't alone at all in this weird realm, as we see a dozen other clones of him hovering around in this weird dimension with him as well. The chatter starts to erupt as all of the different Moros feel the need to add their input as well, as we hear another one saying that he can't wait an entire year or 6 months. Maybe a month at best should be fine, but another one says no more than a week should be necessary. "You all need to relax. All of you," the original Moro proclaims from the front of the pack as he scolds them for being so hasty. "All we have to do is wait right now. The time will come, but we must be patient for the time being. The game has only just begun, and right now, all of them know nothing. Soon we'll have our revenge over all of them in due time, but for right now, I'll allow them to have just a bit of hope to hold on to." As time begins to pass, with the Z Warriors aligning their forces for the upcoming battle, the Angel of Universe 13 is seen in a meditative state as he spectates the happenings across the multiverse. All of a sudden, his eyes burst open with surprise and rage as he sees something extremely bothersome. "Wait," he says, "Vegeta refused to let me train him, but he allows my dreaded father to be his teacher?" As we see the angel grow increasingly furious at this development, he curses them all, complaining about overseeing Vegeta's development being his job and how unfair it is that the Grand Priest is taking away everything from him once again. This is really the first time we've seen the angel act out a character like this, as usually he's very charismatic and confident, but right now he's acting like a huge child. I've been way too lenient with these disgusting creatures. I should have obliterated them all from the start. But don't worry, as soon as I have my fun with the strongest this universe has to offer, I'll eliminate all of them, including Zeno, as the angel's true plan starts to come to light. But this is when he erupts with a rage that we've never seen before, Aura violently wisping around him. "I'm at my limit," he shrieks. "I refuse to allow my father or brother or anyone to ruin my plans. I will break all of you. All of you that abandoned me and turned your backs when I needed you most. That cursed Zeno ruined everything and yet you still stand by his side. I will crush all of you and then I'll rip Zeno to shreds myself," he shrieks, as we can only assume after all of this rage what his next move will be. Back on Beerus's planet, the Z-Fighters that have assembled to train under Whis are discussing their strategy. Gohan seems to have come up with a pretty impressive plan, as Whis praises him on his wits, as Gohan says that this would probably be best if they had no other choice. Whis goes on to say that now Gohan should probably focus on trying to help Vegeta in case he runs into some trouble in his battle with the Angel, because even though Gohan's plan is very tricky and very dangerous, with the combined powers of he and Vegeta, they should be able to at least throw him off his game. Speaking of Vegeta, behind Gohan, he and the Grand Priest are busy at work sparring to no end, as Vegeta has once again been chosen by an angel for apprenticeship, but his training with the Grand Priest will prove to be much different than anything he's ever experienced. "I won't quit," Vegeta says, as we see him extremely exhausted and barely able to stand after clashing with the Grand Priest. "Don't you dare stop now. Keep fighting me. You're too powerful," Vegeta says, shaking as he gets back to his feet from the pure might the Grand Priest exudes. The Grand Priest, however, goes on to give Vegeta more praise in his efforts in the training they've been doing. For a mortal, to be able to produce as much power in such a short amount of time like he has is very impressive, he says. "I'm not fighting to kill you, of course, that would have happened ages ago if so, but you are beginning to make me break a little sweat, Vegeta, which is shocking to say the least. I wonder how far you're willing to go." Even though your power is far beyond my own, this is where it all starts, my true ascension. I'll show you all how strong I really am in time, because I realize now that you've chosen me for a reason, and that doing all of this will make me infinitely stronger. You're easily the most powerful opponent I've ever faced before, but for some reason, I don't fear you. I will defeat that angel, Vegeta says. Now let's be... But the Grand Priest suddenly vanishes. All of a sudden, silence ensues all around Vegeta as he immediately knows that something isn't right. Is this a part of the training? Where did he go? He was just standing right in front of me and he vanished while I was just looking at him. What is this? But this is when another presence is felt just north of him. "Oh, my apologies. Did I interrupt something, Vegeta?" a voice says from behind him as he turns around to see Moro has suddenly appeared once again. "Hope you weren't planning on finishing whatever you were doing here, because Vegeta, you misunderstand. I am the finisher, nobody else. It looks like your progress with my father has paid off a bit, no? Although I find it quite humorous how you refuse to accept my offer but agree in allowing my father to oversee your training. Surprisingly cowardice of you, Vegeta, but it doesn't matter now," he says. "From this moment on, I will be your opponent now that you've grown quite a bit stronger. I want to be the one to see the full extent of what you can do. Now, let's continue, shall we? Let's pick up where we left off in the same crater I left you in before you were saved, as Vegeta looks around and Moro has teleported them back to where they were before. This is it, Vegeta. I hope you know what's on the line for you. But don't worry, I also have a little surprise. I brought all of your friends here as well," he says, as Vegeta looks around and all of a sudden, all of the Z-Fighters that were training as well appear beside him, not knowing what just happened or how they got in this crater. "Since you were all so desperate for my father and brother's training, I'll now just test you all myself. But you don't need to worry about those two. I've kicked Whis and the Grand Priest far away from here and placed them under a powerful spell that blurs reality for them. They're both extremely powerful, however, so I'm sure that they'll break the spell in moments, but if they want to come here to stop me, they're gonna need about an hour to do so, in which time I'll have long killed you all." Now Vegeta, like I said before, you will show me the full extent of your power, but since we're all here, who would like to go first? Krillin speaks up first, asking does he really intend to have this fight on Earth when all of these innocent people have nothing to do with this, but the angel assures them that the people of Earth no longer exist here anymore, so there will be no interruptions and no need to hold back during their battle. All of them are gone, their friends, families, even their beloved children such as Marin and Pan, which enrages Gohan as he demands to know what happened to Pan, Videl, and Chi-Chi. I already told you, they're gone, the angel says, but if you really want to know what I did with them all, then how about you try and make me tell you? Gohan, he says, attempting to provoke Gohan into approaching him, but Piccolo stops him just in time, telling him to stick to their plan, and from what they already know, Murno isn't interested in killing everyone right away, so everyone should be fine for the time being. My, how pathetic, the angel says, still attempting to provoke them. You still won't take action even though you know I will destroy anything and everything you've ever known and loved if you don't. No worries, I don't have all day. I'll just have to break your bodies and then erase your souls, and after that I'll continue the destruction of everything precious to you. So what will it be, mortals? Even with these continuous threats, however, the Z-Fighters don't falter, as we see even Yamcha preparing for battle, and Gotenks is fused as well. Murno has been extremely efficient in making sure that not only Whis, but the Grand Priest can be removed from interference at a moment's notice, which is probably the scariest thing happening right now if we're being honest. I mean, to even be able to put the Grand Priest under a spell in the first place is kinda blowing my mind. But Murno specifically took this interest in Vegeta's decision to be trained by the Grand Priest instead of himself, showing peak rage that we've never seen before. Training Vegeta and maximizing his power just in order to crush him at his best is turning into an obsession for the angel, as all throughout the story, there continues to be this mention of something special or something different about Vegeta that everyone wants to see.